This tiny little machine doesn't look like much when you first see it, but it's really one of the most useful hobby tools I've ever had on my desk. Because inside this compact box is a laser engraver that can produce movement trays, miniature bases, tokens, objective markers, and pretty much anything else you can think of to support your regular hobby projects. It's also one of the easiest laser engraver and cutters I've ever set up. So today we're going to unbox it, test it, and put it to work on real honest-to-goodness hobby tasks to see if it's something that you might want. Let's get to it. Miniature Landscape Hobbies is proudly supported by these sponsors. I was sent the Pixi laser engraver by my friends at AlgoLaser Products for review, and I was pretty excited to see how it worked. You see most people using laser engravers for custom gifts, name tags, Etsy products, things like that. But as a miniature wargamer, I use them very differently. If you're into miniature wargaming or model building, a laser engraver isn't just a craft gadget, it's a proper hobby tool. I already own an Algo DIY2, and I use it constantly. It's one of those pieces of kit that quietly changes how you approach the hobby. I use it to make miniature bases, I cut movement trays for 28mm Napoleonic armies using it, I produce objective markers, and also tokens. And I've even started using it for custom hobby accessories for my terrain commissions. And if you've ever priced out gaming accessories, you'll know why that matters. A cheap sheet of 3mm MDF or plywood from a hardware store suddenly turns into hundreds of bases or trays. It adds up to massive savings over time. So the question I wanted to answer with the Pixi is actually very simple. Where does it fit into my workflow as a miniature gamer and model builder? Before we jump into the test though, I want to thank everybody who supports the channel. If you're enjoying my painting and terrain building tutorials, and you like my reviews of different games and gaming products, then perhaps you'd consider supporting me on Patreon. For as little as $3 per month, you'll gain access to exclusive hobby PDFs, painting guides, member-only discounts, behind-the-scenes project content, and early access to upcoming material. Then there's also a free tier. Join that, and I'll send you my miniature painting theory guide completely free. No catches, no obligations, just a useful resource to help improve your painting while becoming part of the growing community of hobbyists who love building worlds in miniature. The first thing that struck me was just how compact the box is. Compared to most laser engravers, this is small, really small. That immediately tells you what this machine is about. It's not a workshop beast, it's a desk-friendly, space-saving, portable style of engraver. Inside, everything is packed extremely well. There's a lot of foam and protection, and nothing is rattling around or loose. You can tell they've taken shipping safety very seriously here. Once you open it up, you get a nicely designed full-color quick start guide, an information card, a stylus for the touchscreen, the lid for the engraving chamber, and then all the accessories tucked away neatly. You've got the exhaust hose and adapter, USB cable, power supply, a small cleaning brush, and even a USB adapter so you can plug a thumb drive directly into the machine. There are also a few sample engraving pieces included, which is always a nice touch. And then there's this odd little part that at first glance looks like a miniature Warhammer weapon. Unfortunately, it's really not. It's a gauge used to set the height of the laser so you get the correct focus on your work. Setup is where this machine really surprised me. You peel off the protective film, place the lid on the top of the engraving chamber, remove the internal packing foam, connect the exhaust hose, plug it in, and you're pretty much done. That's it. From the box to being ready to run, it took me all of 3 to 4 minutes to set up. And honestly, connecting the exhaust hose took most of the time. Having worked with a ton of different laser engravers and cutters before, I have to say that this is as close to plug and play as I've ever got. There's no messing with belts, no fiddly calibrations. It's just simply something you can set up within minutes and then get working. There are a lot of built-in designs, animals, patterns, decorative graphics, but to be honest, those are mostly geared towards general crafting than miniature gaming. Still, they show what the machine is capable of. So I started with a simple test on a small piece of 2mm dollar store plywood. The first thing I tried was the handwriting feature, where you literally write on the touchscreen and it engraves what you draw. I signed my name and burned it in straight away. It worked perfectly. Fast, clean, and exactly what you'd expect. That alone already shows how approachable this machine is. You don't need any experience to get started. Next, I tried one of the preloaded designs, a simple tree. This is where I made my first mistake. I ran it with settings that were too aggressive for the material. The result was, it basically charred through the wood, and it started falling apart. But to be fair, that wasn't the machine's fault. That was me pushing the settings too far. If anything, it shows that the 10-watt laser has enough power to go beyond engraving if you're not careful. Fortunately, the solution to this was really easy. I started over, only this time I selected a lower power level, in this case 20%. I just guessed at the level, but it seemed appropriate. And then I left it all to process. After it was done, it looked great. Finally, I used the text function and engraved the channel initials, and again, no issues happened at all. Clean, readable, and consistent. At this point, it was pretty clear. This is a very easy machine to work with. But, like with all lasers, you need to respect the power. At this point, I wanted to push the Pixi into my regular hobby workflow. I'm currently finishing a large Hobbit-themed gaming table for my friends over at Torchlight Games, and I needed custom nameplates and QR code markers for the board. This felt like the perfect test. I created the designs in InDesign, exported them as PNGs, and brought them into Laser GRBL to convert them into G-code for the machine. One thing you quickly learn with laser work is that every material behaves differently, and settings really matter a lot. Thankfully, AlgoLaser actually provides recommended settings for different materials, which takes a lot of guesswork out of the process. I started with 2mm plywood. The Pixi cut cleanly and engraved the QR code and text without an issue. And after that, I applied a black wash into the engraving to bring out the contrast. This looked good, but I'll be honest, the scale was a little tight. The QR codes worked, but they were on the edge of readability at that size. So I ended up remaking that particular plate on my DIY 2 at a larger scale, simply because I had more working area to play with. And that really highlights the trade-offs here. The Pixi is excellent for small format precision work, but if you need large pieces, you'll hit its limits quickly. After that, I moved on to 3mm MDF, which I sprayed with a beige base coat and engraved over using 3 passes. And this is where the machine really impressed me. The result was crisp, high in contrast, and fully readable. Once mounted on the Hobbiton board, it honestly looked like a professionally manufactured plaque. I couldn't be happier. That's where the Pixi really shines, not on large-scale projects, but on small precision jobs to produce limited numbers of the items that you need for your mini wargaming. So after spending time with it, I think the AlgoLaser Pixi 10-watt fits into a very specific niche. Its biggest strengths are how easy it is to set up, how compact it is, and how approachable it feels, even if you've never used a laser engraver before. The enclosed design also makes it feel much safer and more controlled than open-frame machines. For hobbyists and miniature builders and painters that want to do small projects, The Pixi fits really nice into your workflow, but if you want to produce really large projects or working on a commission basis, then a larger machine would be more your style. But if this is your first exposure to laser engraving and cutting, this machine's probably just about right. You can grow into a larger one later. For what it is, a compact desktop laser engraver, the AlgoLaser Pixi does its job very well. If you're interested in this or any other Algo products, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use it, but it does help support my channel. And I'm curious, if you had one of these machines sitting on your hobby desk, how would you use it with your projects? Let me know in the comments.